Today, we're going to break down an event of just immense scale and honestly profound impact. We're looking at the anatomy of a catastrophe, Hurricane Melissa, and its devastating collision with the island nation of Jamaica.
So yeah, our focus is on Jamaica, a nation that was just faced with a trial of truly unprecedented proportions, a moment that's going to be etched into its history forever.
These were the words used to describe what was left behind. Not a disaster, not a tragedy, an absolute catastrophe. I mean, that phrase alone really sets a somber, heavy stage for what unfolded.
To really understand the impact, first we've got to get our heads around the sheer force of what made landfall. This wasn't just any storm.
Hurricane Melissa was a Category 5. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's the absolute top of the scale. There's nothing higher. We're talking about winds so powerful they cause, you guessed it, catastrophic damage. Powerful enough to flatten homes, topple the entire power grid, and make whole areas totally unlivable for weeks, maybe even months.
And to put this into perspective, this wasn't just a big hurricane. This was the most powerful storm to hit Jamaica in its entire recorded history. Nothing in living memory, no historical record, could have fully prepared the nation for what was about to happen.
You know, sometimes the best way to understand the immediate aftermath of a storm this huge is just to look at the stark, cold numbers.
First, let's talk wind. At its peak, Melissa's winds were clocked at an incredible 298 kilometers per hour. That's about 185 miles per hour. It's faster than a high-speed bullet train. It's a force of nature that's, well, it's truly hard to even wrap your mind around.
And that raw power, well, it had a devastating, immediate human cost. The initial reports confirmed at least 8 lives were lost. And while it's a number, it represents 8 families, 8 communities, forever changed by this storm.
The scale of the disconnection from the outside world was just staggering. This wasn't some localized blackout. 3/4 of the entire island, that's 75%, was plunged into darkness and total silence. No power, no way to communicate.
The response from the top was, as you'd expect, swift, and it really reflected just how bad things were. Prime Minister Andrew Holness officially declared the entire island a disaster zone. That one move just underscores the nationwide scope of this crisis.
But you know, numbers only ever tell part of the story. To really get it, we have to zoom in from that high-level view down to the streets, the towns, the people. We have to look at the destruction on the ground.
Now, while the entire island felt Melissa's wrath, some areas just got hit so much harder. The parishes of St. Elizabeth, Manchester, and St. Anne were right in the crosshairs, facing the storm's most destructive power head-on.
And in those parishes, the devastation was absolute. Just take the coastal city of Black River. One report described it as being practically wiped off the map. I mean, just let that sink in. An entire city, its homes, its businesses, its landmarks, just gone.
A lot of this destruction was fueled by a massive storm surge. We're talking about waves reaching 4 meters high. That's over 13 feet, high enough to completely swallow the first floor of a building. This wall of water just inundated the coast, sweeping everything away.
And this is a perfect, heartbreaking example of how these crises cascade. At the St. Elizabeth Hospital, a place that's supposed to be a safe haven, the roof was literally torn off by the winds. Next, the power and all communication lines were cut. And the final, desperate step? They were forced to completely evacuate every single patient. A hospital, made helpless right when people needed it the most.
When you look at this level of total devastation, the question that just naturally comes to mind is, what now, right? In the face of something so overwhelming, where do you even start to pick up the pieces?
The answer, according to our source material, isn't just about infrastructure or policy. It lies in something much more fundamental, something human, a call for solidarity.
The source material makes this really powerful point. It says that it's in these moments of the deepest, darkest difficulty that our shared humanity has to shine its absolute brightest. It's a call to look past the rubble and to see the people who are in desperate need.
This might be the single most powerful line from our source material. Jamaica needs the world now, and the world is us. It's just a profound, simple reminder of how connected we all are, and that we have a collective responsibility to help each other out in times of crisis.
And that responsibility is already being put into action. This isn't just a hopeful idea. Reliable, experienced international aid organizations are on the ground right now, coordinating the incredibly complex logistics of humanitarian relief. This is where that global support
Back road
becomes
like this.
so critical. Which really leaves us with this final, vital question. It's easy to feel compassion when you see a tragedy like this. But the real challenge for all of us is how do we take that feeling and transform it into meaningful action?
This was a road. Like this, where I am walking, was a road. This was an alternate route for me. Town pack up, this is where I would drive. This was a road. This was a road. This is a part of the football field. Right? That over there, that's a community center. This was a road. Where I'm walking, like this is a part, this is under the surface of the road. Like when persons were saying it to me, I never understood. But yeah, this was a road.